Hey YouTube, and thanks for watching Junkworks Garage. Me and my wife have been doing eBay. I'll have a link below if you're interested in either this watch or anything else we may be selling there. I don't mind some shameless plugging because we need the money. I was fortunate enough to pick up this watch. I had no idea, but I could tell it felt good. I know nothing about watches. Other than I don't like wearing them. And it's a Tag Heuer or Heuer, I don't know. Anyway, it appears to be a fairly expensive watch. Now this is a little bit scratched up, the battery's dead. I believe this is a diving watch. It definitely, this part of it turns, and I don't know. I used to actually do a little bit of snorkeling, not diving. And I had a watch and I remembered how to use it, and I don't remember how to use it anymore. Anyway, we are going to dig into this and try to fix the battery, because I looked into sending it into the Tag Heuer place, and it's like 45 pounds. I don't know what that is in dollars, but it's more than I wanted to spend, even though honestly it's a pretty expensive watch and I only paid $1 for it. There's some scratches in it. We probably aren't going to get top dollar out of it. And I just want to see if I can get it working again. Make sure the insides of this aren't all caked up with something that's going to destroy it. So I went ahead and picked this up right here. Now, forewarning, if you do this yourself, these watches are tested to certain depths and things of being waterproof. So you need to make sure not only are you using kind of the right tools, but these, if you don't close them right and tight, they can leak water, which will ruin them. And I don't want to be responsible for that as well, although we'll see. I'm going to try it. I am not going to be able to do any actual pressure testing or anything like that. I could probably build something for that, but I'm not going to worry about it. We're not going to, like I said, we're not going to try and get top dollar out of this watch. I decided to pick this up here on Amazon. I will have a link below. It was one of the less expensive ones. I'm not going to say the cheapest one, but it has a whole kit, first of all, and it comes with some sort of instructions anyhow. It was, I don't know how expensive. Yet again, I'll have a link below to it. I don't know what this is, but I probably ought to keep it clean. I got a nice clean t-shirt here that I went ahead and put down on top of my really dirty bench, so I'm hoping to keep it clean. You want to keep this as clean as you can. I have no idea what this is. I don't even see it on the picture here of stuff that's supposed to be in this. So that appears to, it's supposed to go on this right here. I don't know why it wasn't hooked to that, but it wasn't. Nice little screwdriver. It feels pretty nice. I mean, I'm sure it's fairly inexpensive and cheap, so to speak. It did come with really good reviews. There was like, I don't know, a lot of people bought it, like in the, I don't know if it was 17,000 or 117,000 something. There was a lot of people bought it, and it had 4.7 stars, so I'm pretty sure it's all right. We're going to start out with this stuff. First of all, I see still nothing that says what I'm supposed to do with this. I don't know if that's just to keep you from maybe scratching things, like you wrap that around the watch when you're trying to pry on something. I honestly don't know what they're just little plastic pieces here. Somebody knows what those are for, please comment below. So we got the tweezers. That's kind of self-explanatory. That's so you can play with delicate things without touching them, kind of thing. I do believe when you take in and out even the battery, you want to use these if you can. We got a little hammer here, and that is to use actually in conjunction with this one here that's got a place to tap it, and that is for these here, which are what the pins that kind of hold your straps on usually. Now this one appears to be different, so I'll show you how to use the one. There's another one in here. This little blue tool right here has a little V on one side and then a pokey thing on the other. So for the pokey thing, it'd be more like for this type of a watch that has the different things that you can push through. That would also be what this is for as well. You'd put that, your chain, you'd put this in here, and if you were trying to shorten or lengthen a chain type watch, kind of like that, then this would press it in and out. This one also has one just for pushing them out as well, if you can get them by hand. I'll be using this one today, the little V-shaped one. You probably won't be able to see that. I have no idea what you can and can't see here, but it's got like a little dovetail. It's really pokey, but that's the one we'll be using today. It comes with some spare ones of these if you break one or bend one or need one. A little brush for cleaning stuff. Then you got your screwdriver here and several different tips that go inside that. I do not believe I'll be needing a lot of this stuff, but that goes in there and you tighten this up and it gives you a nice little screwdriver here. That's pretty neat. I like that. I'll probably use this for other things. This would be good for glasses and all kinds of things. And then it comes with some extra tips both for this, and this. I believe the tips for this one that you bang on and this one here that presses them are the same, I believe. So I'm sure you kind of go through those and break them once in a while, but it's got several spare tips. It appears it only has one more of these and one more of these, although I don't see that you couldn't use the spare ones that come in this one for that. But I think these are maybe a little more hardened or something because they're meant to be smacked, but quite honestly it still goes in there and you could use it if you needed to, as far as I know, which is not much. That kind of covers all that. Then we got the rest of what's in the box here. This is actually going to be used for this one. This is for turning this off and on. You'll see that a little bit later. The blue one here is if you have, yet again, a watch like this that has the chain links looking things, that would go in there and you could use it to press out the different links. Then you got your vise right here. So we'll be taking off the strap here, and that makes it so you can put it in here. I may just set it in here like this and see if I can use it without even worrying about the strap. And then you got this right here, which is for if the bottom of your watch doesn't screw on, it pops off. That's what that's for. There's also, you can pop off this stuff as well. I'm not going to be messing with that. This does definitely have some scratches in it, so we'll see. We'll see how much we can really get out of this. If I can't clean that up, I may find out about getting a piece for that later on, and maybe I'll do a video on that if this video does well. Regardless, that is about it for all the tools that come in the kit. Yet again, it was less than 20 bucks, I believe, off Amazon. If you go check it out or hit that link below, I do make a few pennies off of that. I don't even think I make pennies, to be honest. I've been doing that Amazon program for, I don't know, probably at least 6 months, going on a year. And I haven't seen a dime yet from it, so who knows if I'll ever make anything off of it. But I do appreciate you checking them out. At the very least, it'll help you out, hopefully. That right there has a V kind of looking thing, kind of a dovetail on it. So this watch here doesn't have the one for like the pointy end. If you had one that went all the way through right in this area, you would take that and push it through. But this one has the two V's. So these ones are harder. I've done this before on other watches a long time ago, just with screwdrivers. But basically you have to go in here and just kind of try and pry this out. And I don't know if one side works better than another. Unfortunately, my eyes don't work as good as any. So right now I don't think I need to do that, but that's kind of what this one is for kind of prying in and popping these off of here. But I'd probably be here for a long time. I need to get better glasses, probably a magnifying glass. Try it one more time. I can feel it popping, but it's not staying there. You could fiddle with it for a long time, and all I'd do is break the tool and probably not get anywhere. So I'm not going to worry about it right now unless I absolutely have to. Right now I'm just going to stick this inside here. It does have a little cutout kind of for this area right here, the winder or whatever it is to set it kind of. And then this just is a vise, basically. You would stick this in. Now it's up to you. This is plastic and this is metal, so it shouldn't hurt it at all. And there is plastic pieces under here which you might want to make sure you're being gentle with. I think that is what these are for, is you put this in here and then put your watch in it, and then that keeps it from scratching. But right now I'm not too worried about that. And then you got this tool right here, and it adjusts. This one looks kind of neat. That's kind of one of the reasons I bought this one. You got some that have the two like this that adjust back and forth, and this just gets wider and smaller back and forth here. And then you got another one that's got like a handle, and it's got three of these that kind of sit in here. But this one actually seems like it's more, you're putting pressure where you want it. We'll see. I have no idea yet again, never used one of these before. I've always just kind of pried and poked and prodded until I got the watch open to replace the batteries. Like I said, I've only wore watches when I was younger. But I got that. That's in there really good. And it's nice and solid. So I'm just going to hold this in this hand, get that back in there, and hope it does the job. Hopefully you can see it. Yep, opened right up. And I have a pretty good feel for torque on nuts and bolts and those kind of things, so I'll be able to hopefully kind of take that feeling I got from this last time, or from what it felt like when it broke loose, and I will kind of use that same feeling. It's real loose, but for some reason I can't get it very well with my fingers either. There we go. Just going to use that. I'm just going to use this. Probably not the right tool for the job, but there we go. And then that, we'll prop that off. This all looks real good in here. It doesn't appear that the battery has corroded any, which is what I was mostly worried about. That's as far as I can zoom it in right now. I gotta mess with this camera some more. I'm still learning it after about 8 or 9 months of having it. Regardless, there's that. There is, on top here, appears to be a little round thing with fingers that just sits right on top right there. And it has little things here. Hopefully you can see that, but right here, here, and here, there are little things sticking out in that direction. and then it's got 3 things that sit on top of the battery. I'm just going to set that down the way it came out and take the battery out, hopefully without flinging it across the room too much. You don't want to accidentally mess with any of this stuff. You want to really try and hopefully just get the battery out. These tweezers are not real powerful tweezers. I'm going to get the screwdriver out here. And I am going to do a little bit of prying on underneath here. There we go. Prop that up. And I can get the tweezers and do that. Now, unfortunately, the battery I have is definitely not the right battery. So, unfortunately, that's going to end me right here. I didn't know what kind of battery this took. This is just a battery that I had on hand from something else. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to, yet again, put some better glasses on and try and read this and figure it out. It says Energizer. What I'm going to go ahead and do is take that out. I'm actually going to put this back in here so I don't lose it. And I'm going to put the back end of this back on for now. Just lightly. I'm not going to torque it down or anything like that. Just enough that I won't lose parts and I can wait and it won't let hopefully too much dust and stuff in. Until I can get the battery. There we go. Good enough for now. Got the battery. It's a 395, 399 Duracell battery, same one that came out of it originally. So we're just gonna probably poke that open here. I tell you, these tweezers are junk. There's the one definite not so good part of this situation is these just don't have any power to them. I'll go ahead and pull this off. We'll open this up. I found a cleaner cloth to work on here and clean things up a little bit better than I did last time. So now we got this little thing here. See, now that just got a bunch of fuzzies in it from this orange thing now. I don't know why you're not supposed to touch. I don't know if touching the battery is really all that big a deal. It's more messing with this kind of stuff in here that you got to be more careful with. This does have 3 little nubs on it that kind of surround the battery. I should test and make sure it's actually working, but it came off of there. Finding that it's, once it pops off, if you put it on here, you can actually put it on pretty snug. And it holds pretty tightly. You can just stick it on there. It's holding that whole thing on there now. And then give her a good twist. I'm gonna give it a good twist and a half here. as much as this thing will hold anyway. Let's do that one more time. Once you pop it off, you got to kind of readjust it, make it a little bigger, and then bring it in and give her that is as tight as I'm comfortable putting it here. Now, according to this, it does have pressure testing stuff. I do question whether this would be sitting on here like that or if it should be straight up and down. I may have over tightened it actually, but I'm gonna call it a day. I might look at the back of some of these if I can find some pictures and see what that looks like. And water resistant 200 meters tested according to this, and stainless. So it is no longer tested, but it is working. Now get out there and get your junk working. Thanks for watching Junkworks Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all, yeah, you, have a good one.